Thing that's happening over at the Veterans Memorial Coliseum, we're trying to make it as transparent as possible. We are making sure that everything is secure. The people working on the process are secure. The ballots are secure. Ever since the machines and the ballots were delivered, we've had 24/7 armed security guarding the ballots. I think there's only 2 people in the building, and one of them is not me, that has the keys to the ballot corrals that you can see on the 24/7 live streaming. Everything is very secure, but I'm not going to talk about the details of our security plan. Everything that's happening there is just about processing the ballots, and there's nothing happening there that would violate the identity of any voters. This gentleman to my left, you always tell me that elections ought to be what?
It needs to be transparent, trackable, and publicly verified. And in the election that we're auditing, they're claiming that this thing has been audited 2 or 3 times. It hasn't. And I'll explain to you very simply why it wasn't.
Right here in the mic.
Okay. I was there for the August primary. I spent 3 weeks in Maricopa. And first I want to tell you, I think it could be one of the best election departments in the United States. And when I got to the hand count audit that they did, and I was part of that process, we picked 50 batches of ballots, and they were picked before the election. We picked 2 to 4 batches per day. Now I want to remind you that they were picked before the election. And then we went ahead and we put in what I call a scarlet letter. The scarlet letter is, here is the results for those 50 batches, okay? Now, those 50 batches were audited, and they added up perfect, but they were flawed. You picked 50 batches before the election before you've committed the results. And that means is that if you have 9,600 batches, you pick 50, you only count 25, an insider could know what batches not to hack. It's like saying that we got 9,600 batches in the state, and I'm going to put 50 cops at 50 batches, those banks, and because those banks were not robbed, we know that the other 9,500 were not. That's a problem, okay? And then on top of that, they keep saying, we run a logic and accuracy test. And they keep saying it over and over. They do these audits running logic and accuracies. Logic and accuracy test is a very important process. It tells you that everything is working right at this moment. It's all it's proving. So clearly, a logic and accuracy is an important test, but it's not an audit. And so we're doing the first audit, and we're working very hard. And yes, we've had some glitches, but we're working to take care of that we can.
Yes, we are. Thank you. I don't know the specific number of ballots as of today because they hadn't got the count in from today's work. But with the progress that's being made every day, Dennis, we are on track to have the counting of the ballots done by the end of the time that we have Veterans Memorial Coliseum to do the work in. So we're on track to get the job done in the time that we have.
How many ballots?
I think it's just shy of 100,000 ballots. I don't have the specific number. The UV lights are looking at the paper, and it's part of several teams that are involved in the paper evaluation.
For what?
We're looking for a lot of things, okay? They are, at least. The people are doing the examination. Pardon me?
There aren't watermarks.
Then we won't find any.
That's right, we won't.
Why are you looking for that? Yeah, doesn't that
What they're looking for is folds and pieces of paper because there's a guy who came out and said certain things that the ballots were stuffed, okay, that we're going to find bamboo in the paper. There's a lot of, we're out here really doing a lot of unghosting people who believe strange things, okay? I know if there was something done, it would have been done through the secret software that we vote on, and it could be a fractional attack. We call it fraction magic. I was on that team. They're calling it, other people are calling it hammer and scorecard, okay, which I don't know those 2 programs. I know that I was with black box voting when we discovered fractional voting that's involved in our voting system, which is a very big problem. We should all have a whole vote, and it's one vote, and it should be counted as one. Not 3/5 of a vote, not 4/5 of a vote, a whole vote.
So it's evaluation. We're evaluating the paper. We're evaluating the paper.
It does really? I've been doing it for 17 years. Pardon me.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Who else has a question? Okay. Yes.
On the practical voting, there's the machines.
You're talking about camera one.
Where the machines are supposed to be evaluated. So
All they're doing right now is they are downloading the images and all of the electronic information that were on the machines. They're making a copy of that information so that they can do the analysis on the copy and not risk any damage to the machines. So they're simply downloading the forensic information from the machines. It's an experienced IT company that has done that for 2 or 3 decades, I believe, Ben's company. So everything related to the audit will come out in a report. We're probably 50 days from that, but we're working hard to get there. That's why we have 24/7 cameras have been running since the machines and the ballots were delivered.
But why did it take the news organizations to demand that Senate President Fan allow us to have an independent camera inside as Cyber Ninjas continue to make sure to ask the court to not release the procedures and to try to seal them from public court? Why is that?
Probably because when we allowed the press in there one day, all evidence is that somebody propped the door open, and others came in and walked around the building talking about how easy it was to get into the building. So we've had some issues with the press. I know that you have issues about we're not being as transparent as you'd like us to be, but as of today, we have press there at the facility watching every shift. And whether we have 2 shifts a day as we have or go to 3 or 4, the press will be allowed in on every shift.
What does it have to do that you won't release the procedures, what you're doing and how you're doing it?
It's not the Senate's procedures. The contractor wants to protect, I think, some proprietary things, and the judge will decide. The judge will decide.
And you don't think the public has a right to know how the job is being done?
The judge will decide whether parts of his procedures are proprietary and deserve protection or whether they don't, and they'll all be opened up.
But you talk about you